Finally, my podcast about business coaching. I've been wanting to do this podcast for a very, very long time, actually. But then other coaches would tell me, don't bother, don't worry about everything. But actually, there was a client question coming in about, whether or not she should be a business coach or a coach, because there was a few things holding her back. And that's when I thought, probably there are more people who are thinking that. So I'm talking about what I think of the coaching industry, why I believe it's worth your while. And just enjoy this episode. So if you're thinking of getting coaching or becoming a coach, this one is for you. This is Big Business with Sarah, the podcast for entrepreneurs who want to continue building their business and understand you should never stop learning. So one of my clients decided that she wanted to be a coach and, going from her profession into the coaching profession about her previous profession. And it took her 7 years to make this decision. And she's currently in the soft launch of her business. She's helping a few people right now in turning their business into a profitable one. But what was keeping her from coaching? She was having the belief that being a coach is automatically being a fraud. And she would have the idea that others would think that she's taking the easy road. And, everyone has an opinion about coaches and she doesn't want to hear that. And the thing that I find so fascinating is that there's actually so much hatred about the coaching industry. And while I believe there's, of course, bad coaches out there, but I believe there's also bad CEOs, managers, chefs, bakers, freelancers, illustrators. I mean, in every sector, there are people who are bad and also people who are good. But the coaching industry, for some reason, is a particular breed, apparently. And I was wondering, why is this? And I was really trying and look it up, online, if there were some research about this, why there is, this sudden, for instance, if you're looking at a LinkedIn post or an article about business coaching, everyone has an opinion about it and it's all very negative. And so I was, there is no research on that, why people are so negative about it. But I was doing a little quiz on Instagram, which is totally not representative. Sorry. But the thing that I heard most was that something has to do with misogyny, because many coaches are women, and jealousy, because coaches, often could have a scalable business model. And it could be, annoying to others, if you're seeing someone make 100K quite easily and you can't, it can maybe make you a little bit jealous, and that's totally fine. The only thing that you can control is not so much that you get the feeling, but how do you handle that feeling? But so it's quite interesting. So, if there is bad chefs out there, you don't really read a lot about it. If there's bad managers out there, you read a little bit more, but coaches, that's just really triggering. So about myself is that I gave up, air quotes, by the way, my respectable career as an interim manager, and I became a business coach. And people would ask me, why would you do that? Why would you throw away all that knowledge and all that authority for something so low and idiotic as becoming a business coach? And so today I'm answering those questions in 10 reasons why I believe the coaching industry isn't all that bad and that you shouldn't bash too much, but actually see the value of one of the fastest growing professions out there. So the first reason why I love business coaching is because it's very inclusive. So not everyone has a university degree, and you can actually help others, reach big goals. If you're a coach or if you're a coachee, you can really reach big goals, and you can learn that learning can be fun. So the thing is, let's just look at the stats in the Netherlands, because I know them by heart, because I was also a politician. I would even give up politics to be a business coach. If you're a politician, it's, people are not very positive about you either. Maybe that's the reason. I just look for the things that people don't like. Managers, people don't like, politicians, and now business coaching. I don't know, maybe there's a connection there. No, I'm just kidding. But so my personal story in this, of the university degree. Right. First, I wanted to say the Dutch number. I think it's about 27% of the people have a master's degree of the Netherlands, and all the rest is, and then also bachelor. So a bachelor and master, and then the other 47% have a, we call it MBO or lower, so a medium or low education. And, that's also what we call it in the Netherlands. And you could actually call it, it would be better to call it theoretical and practical, but the Netherlands doesn't do that, unfortunately. So that's also what I'm used to. So 25%, 26% of the Dutch people have a university degree. So, and the thing is that when you have a university degree, you can get better jobs, you can get better paid, etc., etc. By the way, this is not always the case. For instance, if you're studying, something like languages, culture, philosophy, anthropology, you don't make a lot of money. But, there's a certain status about, being, having a master's degree. I myself have a bachelor degree, by the way. So when I was 12, you're being selected for different routes in your school study learning curve. And when I was 12, it was decided for me that I was actually not really good at school. So learning was very difficult for me. And the reason why, and this is something I figured out a few years ago, the reason why I didn't like it is because I really didn't see the point. I didn't see the point in learning facts that, had nothing to do with me. I was a very practical child. I still am. So I like things that I can apply immediately. That's my way of learning. So when I decided 2-3 years ago that I wanted to invest in business coaching, I thought I can do an MBA, go back to the school system that I actually really don't like. And I feel like I don't fit in because obviously I am not being valued as I believe that I should be valued, because the school system is for a certain type of people, people who are learning very well theoretically, but I always like the practical applying. So this is a story. So I went from, for Dutch people, from MAVO, MBO to HBO. And so, I kind of grew in my school path. And then when I was actually able to do my master's, I couldn't, because I had to work, I had to make money. There wasn't unlimited funds for me coming from my mother. So I just had to work. So the thing is, what business coaches allow you to do is to learn and to actually have fun in learning and see different approach in how you can learn. And you see this on LinkedIn and on Twitter and, on Instagram all the time, that school doesn't really learn you how to run a business, handle your money, and all those other things, whilst actually those things are very important in order to have a successful business. So a very, very long personal story about why I believe business coaching is good, because it's more inclusive. So the second reason why I believe it's very good is that it actually allows, the business world to create more quality, because you can help people with the tools that you've learned, or you can learn from people who have learned before you. So many people think that they have to do everything all by themselves, whilst actually when you invest a little bit of money, and I don't know, maybe you want to invest 10 euros, maybe you want to invest 1,000, maybe 10,000, but it's up to you to make, to kind of, skip all those steps and actually learn from someone who's 2 or 3 steps or 10 steps before you, and actually learn from them. Why not? If you can actually learn from them, your creative output is going to be better. You can fast track your growth. So I think this is also a very important one, that the quality in business, in the business world in general, would be much better if you would do that. So the third reason why I believe that I think there's still a lot to say about having more business coachings is it will create a more diversified offer in the current coaching market. So don't ever not do something just because the market is saturated, because you could be the next best thing. Maybe people actually really need to hear from you and not from maybe me. So it actually makes the the business world and also the career world, every aspect of work is that it's making it more healthy because people see more of their potential. Because there's not one way, and this is a little bit my first reason, there's not one way to learn. And, with all due respect, most courses from certified, and I'm getting into that later, coaching businesses are boring, and why should you, follow a boring course which you aren't even sure if it will get you the results just because they're certified? Why are they certified? Well, and who decides? That's also the thing. And I don't want to sound like someone who doesn't believe in the news and thinks that everything is fake or not at all. I strongly believe in that the news source is something that we should all listen to and also really believe. But actually in the educational system, there's so much proof, and also in the business world, there's so much proof that you don't need a diploma to actually reach your business goals. So, don't worry about this. I'm not some, I don't want to say freak, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? I think that this discussion should be more nuanced. And maybe it's not very nuanced of me to say that certified courses are boring. Sorry for that. And I find them boring. So then it comes to my fourth reason. Should you be a certified coach, and why? Because this is also something that I spoke about with my coachee. And so the thing, and it's up to you, right? So do you want to follow a certain path or a certain way or a certain technique? Yes, of course, go for it. Go get that certification. I believe that you should do whatever you want. But actually, the thing is, when you think about this, the way that we're looking at business coaching is as saying, they should be really certified because there's so much responsibility in their jobs, whilst actually we're living in a world where so many managers, they are not business school graduates. So many chefs are not professional cooks, and not all restaurants are really good. Not all bakers are really good or certified. So for instance, I'm coming from the cultural sector, and I believe, there are very good managers, but most of them, in Amsterdam at least, most of them studied art history, cultural heritage, maybe some sort of business management master degree. But most of the time they're not they're not raised very managerial. This is something that you can learn through courses or whatever. You don't really need those certifications. You just need people to be happy to be working for you, if you are a manager. So, and the same goes with coaching. So my coaching style is also very much about coaching and going very deep into the problem. But also, I'm not going to ask 1,000 questions to my coachee if I know that they are not going the right direction. I can find everything. I can help them find everything out themselves. But I was an interim manager. I know how businesses work, so I can help them, give them a gentle push, and then see what works and what doesn't, and then coach them on that. But that's my way of working. So, and if you don't like it, fine. It's really up to you. But that's what I do, and that's why people want to work with me. So, should you be a certified coach? It's up to you. I don't have any judgment on whichever part. And I'm just saying that so many people work in the business world that don't have a certification for what they do. Fifth reason is I want you to step away from the idea that you have to do what others think that you should do. The haters do not pay your bills. And so I just wanted to clarify that. I just said it at the beginning of the podcast episode, is that you have to choose your own path, I believe. And don't believe about, what is a respectable career. For me personally, my mental health is so much more important, my physical health. My relationship is very important to me. My friends are very important to me. And then, yes, also my business is very important to me, but I want that to be on my terms. So I want it to be 6 hours a day, 4 to 5 days a week. That's my terms. And I want to work with people, with only my ideal clients, not with other people who are not really respecting me. So those are my terms. And you know what? If there's people who don't like that, fine. It's okay. I can handle that. The sixth reason, and this is one that I really like personally, is that you can actually, and it helps women to become more financially independent. So I want to ask you, I'm currently recording this on end of November. So have you heard the story of Equal Pay Day? So, and these final weeks of the year, women get paid nothing, based on, what the salaries are. And actually, you can help them, or if you're a coach or if you're coaching, you can help them by creating a profitable business. And not only that, you can help women negotiate. You can help women, maybe invest in things that is interesting for their future. So I think also this is a very interesting part, and you can play a very interesting part in the society. And this is one of the reasons why I started coaching as well, is that I want to empower women to step out of, to actually become financially independent from their partners or the government. So that's the reason, one of the many reasons why I did it. And you can do that too. Reason number 7 is, the insight that there's so many ways to make money, and it doesn't have to be what everyone else does. There's so many ways, and especially thanks to the internet, there's so many ways to make money. Be creative, and you can actually change the world whilst making money. And it's very strange, actually, that, and I understand it too, but it's very strange that this is so limited to one kind of certification or a degree, one career path, one channel, or one way of working. There's limitless possibilities. As Lindsay Lohan is saying in Mean Girls, the limit does not exist. I just saw that Christmas movie with Lindsay Lohan, and I think it's very fascinating. But I was thinking about all the Mean Girls quotes that she could have said in that Christmas movie. I think it was Falling Into Christmas or something. I'm not really sure what it's called, but it's a very interesting movie to watch, especially if you're a former Mean Girls fan and know all the quotes by heart. Try it. It's a lot of fun. Anyway. Reason number 8 is, tip number 8, because kind of mixing up reasons and tips here. But I want to advise you to, if you're a coach, I want to advise you to unfollow everyone who's against coaches. You don't have to listen to them. Maybe, and that, for the people that I unfollowed, I know that they had enough chances and opportunity to build their own career or business, and maybe they didn't have a great business coach, so maybe they're disappointed. Who knows? The thing is, they don't pay your bills, and, I want you to stop the snob. Reason number 9 is, really depending on your business model, but you can also help more people at the same time. So for instance, me as an interim manager, I was working with 7 clients a year, and that was really the maximum I could hold. And I was doing all the work for my clients, but actually as a coach, I'm helping my clients learn stuff themselves. And that knowledge for them is, again, very valuable. So they can pay me to do things, but, they can pay me for the fish, but I can also teach them how to fish. That's a little bit the analogy that what I wanted to go with. And the 10th reason, and this is the nicest one, is focus on your clients' wins. So sometimes when I'm feeling down and, that for some reason I'm seeing someone post something again about business coaches, or that, someone is kind of, someone who wants to work with me is kind of scolding business coaches somewhere else. I'm like, okay, why did you ever contact me? But then I go back to my client wins. So it's absolutely the best feeling in the world. So I almost have had 50 clients this year, 2,000 podcast listens. And if I'm thinking about all the people that I helped, I also have this little folder in my photos in my telephone, and it says panic button. I have to change the name, but that's where all the reviews go. All the positive reviews, all the nice things that happens to my clients thanks to me. And I really need that because your mindset can be actually quite different from time to time. So that really helped me. So focus on the client wins, focus on the people that you're helping, and don't really care too much about what others think of you, because others don't care about what you think about them. And I think that's a very healthy way of looking at each other. And it's a little bit a shame that I should record this episode, but I really wanted to share this with you because I really strongly believe in the idea that the coaching industry is very good. Of course, there are some people who aren't doing a very good job, but in the end, I believe also karma will come back to them. And I'm not even. Why am I saying this? I don't care. But the thing is, that's why I wanted to share this with you, because I had such a nice conversation about this with my coachee, and I want to help you too from a distance. And thank you so much for listening. Today, actually, my Black Friday sales start. I have products and services ranging from €11 until €11,111. So the month November is kind of a big deal. It runs until Tuesday noon. And I'm actually very excited to share this with you. You can find all the deals in bureausbb.com/shop. And then, the upper bar is all the Black Friday deals. If you're thinking, I'm actually learning a lot from Sarah, I want to learn more, then this is really the time to step in, because, this is the lowest as I can go. The reason why I wanted to do the Black Friday offer is because I have a scalable, so the offer is only for my scalable part of my business, so really private coaching and all that is not really within the deal. But I can do this because I have a scalable offer, and I'm so happy that I can share so much with you and actually really help you reach those business goals that you want. So go check it out, bureausbb.com/shop. Thank you so much for listening, and talk to you next week.